चलिए दोस्तों शुरू करते हैं without wasting a time. In the last video, we have already seen that how to configure L3 out in the ACI manually. Okay. In this video, we will do the similar configuration with the help of Terraform. Okay. So for the quick recap, this is the solution or plan document we have. Where I have already put the object name which we are going to use. Okay. So this is the VLAN pool, and VLAN pool will be the name with the VLAN underscore MPLS, and this will the VLAN range we will put in this pool. And physical domain we configure the routed domain. Okay, routed domain name will be this one, and AEP will be this name. And once we're done with the VLAN pool and routed domain and AEP, we will proceed with the IPG. Okay, this is the interface policy group we will configure. And after it, we will proceed for the interface profile. This is the interface profile name. In the interface profile, uh, we will call the port number will define, and also we'll call this IPG group. Okay, IPG is a bundle of policy where we will attach the AEP and few common policy like CDP and LLDP or link tail policy will define. Okay. Once we done that, we will proceed for the leaf profile. This is the leaf profile name we'll put. In the leaf profile, we'll assign the leaf selector, okay, which will select the leaf. And under that, we'll call the IPR where we have created here. We will call that one. All these things will be done under the fabrics in the Epic Fabric Access Policy side. And this part we have already configured, okay, where we are defining spine as a route selector. So spine node 104 and 105 will be acted as route selector for the ACI fabric, and ACI O1 AS will be the 100 will configure. Okay, and here this is this L3 out config need to be configured under the tenant section under networking tab. Okay, in the tenant we will go to networking. Under that, this will be the L3 out name, and this will be the logical node and logical interface profile node profile logical interface profile, and this will be the EPG name. Okay, so let me quickly jump to the code. So where I will show you the code with Terraform, how we have used the resources, data, and provider block. So this is our code to push the config in the ACA fabric for configuring the L3 out. Okay, so let's go through this code. So we have, and this is the provider block configuration which is required to connect with the ACI. Okay, here I am defining the provider. So this is the software version required for the ACI provider, version 2.6.0. Here I am defining their credential, username, password, and API URL. Once we done that, here we are defining a VLAN pool as we have seen in the solution document. This is the VLAN pool underscore MPLS. I have defined the name. Okay, and once we done that, here defining a range VLAN 200 to 210. Okay, and after that we are proceeding with the physical domain. We have to configure L3 domain, AC L3 domain profile we have configured. Here is the name we have configured, and under the physical domain we attach VLAN pool. So I'm taking the here I'm establishing the relation with this object ACI VLAN pool and VLAN underscore MPLS which we have created above. After that, we are proceeding for the AE attachable access identity profile we are creating. Under that also in the AEP we need to attach a profile L3 domain. So L3 domain profile I'm attaching. Okay. Here I'm creating a individual policy for the CDP and LLDP. Okay, these are the resource name ACI CDP interface profile, and here we put in the name. Similar way, this is the resource name in the Terraform, and this is the name which we create in the ACI. Once we're done with the individual policy, AEP, LLDP, CDP, so we are proceeding for the IPG interface policy group. Under the interface policy group, we need to attach here I'm defining a name. Okay, this IPG. Okay, this is the Terraform object reference. This is the name we are putting, will configure the ACI. And we are attaching here in the IPG CDP policy, which we created above. CDP, LLDP, and AEP we are attaching. Once we're done that, we are proceeding for this interface profile section. This is the resource name ACI leaf interface profile. So this is the name I'm defining here. Okay. Similar way for this leaf profile, we need to select a port. So I'm selecting a port number 1. Okay. Under the leaf profile, we need to attach a IPG. So here I'm attaching the IPG, and once we're done with that, under that we need to define a port number. So port ETH1/1. So this is the one we require to select a port. Once we done that, we are proceeding for the leaf profile. So leaf profile, I'm putting this name border leaf 101 profile. And here under the leaf profile, we need to attach an interface profile. Here you can see the relation object. In the we are calling leaf profile name dot id. Okay, this is the resource name ACI leaf interface profile dot name, which we have configured for the leaf profile dot id. So similar way here, I'm going to select the leaf selector. This will select the leaf 101. Okay. After that, we are selecting a node block. Okay, 101. This is like leaf selector. Okay, this is under profile name. Then we leaf block selected. Here we are creating a tenant. Text underscore tenant will create. Okay. And here I'm taking the reference of common tenant because from the common tenant I want to use a default VRF. So first I'm taking the reference of in the this tenant by default exists in the ACI fabric. So I'm taking with the resource with the object data. As we have seen in the couple of video, Terraform have a different type of object like for the providers to connect and resource object to create a new resource and data if any exist already configured on the device that we need to read. For that read we use data block. So this data block, if we send the data, this is the resource name and this is the name which exists on the is the reference name for the Terraform and this is the name which already exists in the already configured the ACI. So we are taking a reference with the help of data. Similar way, here we are taking the reference to the VRF. Okay. Here you can, whenever you are creating a new resource, you need to put a resource. You need to use a resource object, and Terraform resource object name, and then this is the reference for the Terraform. And under that, tenant DNS. Here we are attaching a tenant. Okay, name, and here we are establishing say domain profile we are calling which we have created above, and also we are attaching a VRF. So for to read the existing object, we need to put a data dot ACI VRF default data dot ACI VRF dot default dot ID. Okay. To read that data. Start. Okay. So here we are again reading a contract in the default in the common tenant. We have a default contract also exists. So this we are reading default contract value and under the EPG here we are getting external EPG which is required for the L3out. Under that L3out, we are calling that EPG and their contract data dot ACI default. So provider contract and consumer contract both are the same we are using. And this is the EPG name we are putting external EPG. Once we done that, here we are getting a node profile. Node profile name I am defining, and node profile will be the part of L3 outside. So here we are calling the L3 outside name border leaf MPLS CMN. Okay. So once we done that, we are creating a logical node. In the logical node, basically we need to define a node path. So port one in the port one leaf node 101 will be the path. Okay, this is the router ID we define for this node. And once we're done with the node profile, we are proceeding for the interface profile. Interface profile. This is the Terraform resource name, and this is the name which Terraform reference. And under the logical interface profile, we are attaching a node profile. This is the node profile name. ACI logical node profile. This is the resource name, and then the name which we want to configure dot id. The name and description tab is there. Here I'm defining a path attachment. Okay, and the path attachment ultimately how this logical profile will be. Our tenant side going to be attached to the fabric access side policy. This port channel group we configured IPGPC border leaf MPLS. So that we are config here and we are proceeding with the sub interface. So once we push the config in the once we verify in the epic, so that config will look like interface IPG port channel border MPLS dot VLAN 202 and that under that VRF and IP. This is a part of VRF default will be. Here we calling a BGP peer profile. We are defining this with the router MPLS side IP and this is their AS. Okay. And here we are attaching the interface path ID which we have created. This object we are calling ACI L3out path attachment dot interface underscore bar dot ID. So let's jump for the pushing the configuration. So let's jump to the push for pushing the configuration. So we have to perform the three commands. First we'll run the Terraform init. Terraform init. So this will download the existing Terraform. Sorry. So this will download the required provider and plugins. After that, we need to proceed with the Terraform plan. After that, we need to click for the apply. Let me put the value yes. Pushing all of the required changes to create the L3 out. on the ACI fabric. Let's wait for this to complete. After it, we'll jump for the verification. Okay, Terraform completed the changes. Let's jump for the verification now. There we are on the API fabric. Proceed for fabric access policy side. Start the verification. So first we have to check the hidden pool. Let me increase some size if I am able to do that. Okay, so as you can see. Okay, so here we are in the VLAN pool. Here we can see that this VLAN pool is got created, which we have seen in the solution document, and it's also showing the Terraform icon also on this. So this config is pushed with the help of Terraform. Okay, so let's see the now we have verified the pool, and let's verify the domain. Here it's L3 domain. So you have created the L3 domain, and under the L3 domain it have all the VLAN pool, and two things. And second thing is AEP is also attached. Once you verify the L3 domain and this, let's go for the AEP in the policy under the global. Here we are able to see the AEP policy which you have created with the Terraform. Here you can see this. Okay, and after that we need to proceed for the IPG. IPG will be under the interfaces, interface leaf interface. Under that policy group, here we create the port channel, so we need to check for the port channel option. Here the different option available for the single interface option is the leaf access port. For the port channel we have a port channel, for the VPC virtual port channel. So under the port channel we need to refer, here is created the IPG PCC border MPLS. Under that if we see, so here AEP is attached, correct, and CDP LLDP policy will be there. Here CDP is there and LLDP will be there. LLDP is there. Here is LDP. Once we done that IPG, we need to proceed for the profile. Here is the profile. It's from the interface profile. Under the interface profile, it will call for the IPG. Here it's called the IPG on the port 1/1. Once we done that, we need to proceed for the switch profile. Under the switches, leaf switches profile section. Here we have a BL101 profile is created. Under the profile, under the leaf profile, we are able to see that it will be called the interface profile. So this is a leaf selector, which is like the leaf 101, and here is selecting the IPR interface profile. So we're done with this side of configuration. Now let's jump for the tenant side configuration. In the tenant side, this I create the test underscore tenant new, which we're getting under that networking. Under networking, L3 out here. Here it's creating the L3 out border MPLS CML, which is in the name. Under the L3 out, if we go, this you get the logical node profile. Here we get the logical node profile. Under the node profile, there will be the interface profile. This is the showing the load. Okay, and if we click on this node profile, if you see here, so here is going to the router ID which we have seen. So router ID is there. Let's see more option here should be. Okay, let's jump under this topology where we define the, here we define the path which we define topology. Okay, under that, so we have this setting here, and One more thing I want to show you guys here, logical node profile. Under the node profile, that should be here. I'm looking. This we have already seen. Okay. And logical interface profile, this should be there here. This one actually. A routed sub interface we have created. As you choose the option routed sub interface, here you will be able to see that this is the port 1 IP is configured and the VLAN 202 is configured. We have took the option for the routed sub interface. There is the option for the direct IP on the interface or SPI or floating SPI also. And here we have created the external EPG, which is external EPG. This is the EPG got created. Under the contract, we use the default contract, common contract from the default contract from the common tenants. This contract is consumed and provided. Okay. So let's jump to the Epic CLI to verify the one with the help of CLI also. Let me log in. Let me increase the font size to this. Change setting, appearance, change. Let me apply. Okay. So let's run now. Show run leave 101 config. So running config leave 101. I run the command epic 2. Config is saying all of the topics. So here we can see under leave context. Here we have a VRF context test underscore tenant will be there, and in the here we configure the border MPLS CMN L3out. Okay, fine. And router ID, this is the router ID we defined, and route map we have did configure using the default. Here you can see that interface from the leave 101 ETH1/1 is part of now port channel group, and that channel group name is IPG MPL. It's showing the port channel inherits configuration from the template. So interface port channel is created. Under the interface port channel, this is the sub interface. As you choose the option for the sub interface, create the interface port channel name dot 202. This is the VLAN ID, and this port channel sub interface is a part of VRF default for this L3out, and this is the IP config. And here you can see in downside, here is the router BGP. This is the AS of the ACI AS as a part of VRF this tenant and VRF default, and neighbor IP. This is the IP of MPLS side IP, MPLS router IP, or this is L3out is attached, and this is the remote AS. Okay, so this is the config here. So we have seen how we can end to end do the config with the help of Terraform.